Hello, everybody. So, the character I'm gonna talk about is a guest of Jia family, a guest of the Grandview Garden. They laugh at her. She saw everything. Granny Liu and the Price of Paradise. Poor woman, rich people's paradise. Imagine your grandmother walks into a billionaire private garden. Not the cute kind of rich. Not nice kitchen, big couch rich. I mean private legs, carved pavilions, servants, rare fruits, thick curtains, poetry party, and people who have so much free time so they can argue beautifully about flowers. Everyone smiled at her. Everyone watched her. Everyone ready to laugh because she doesn't know the rules. She doesn't know how to see, how to speak, how to eat elegantly, how to pretend that absurd luxury is no more. The grandmother is Granny Liu, and she may be one of the smartest people in dreaming of the red chamber because everyone in the garden sees beauty. She sees the bill. She doesn't enter the garden, she enters a different economy. The Grandview Garden is poetry to the rich. For boys and girls, it's youth, moonlight, friendship, private names, flower, a fragile world where people can briefly become more than family roles. But Granny Liu come from outside the bubble. She come from hunger, farming, weather, vegetable, family survival. A world where one bad harvest is not a mood, it's a disaster. So when she enters the garden, she doesn't see what Dai sees. She doesn't ask, what does this flower symbolize? She asks a question poor people are trained by life to ask, how much did this cost? That's why she mattered. She's not there to ruin the poetry. She's there to make the poetry accountable. The garden was built to hide labor. Granny Liu bring labor back into the frame. You guys know this thing. A normal person walking to a private club, a luxury wedding, an Ivy League dining hall, a billionaire wellness retreat, a museum gala, a private school fundraiser where one flower arrangement costs more than someone's rent. Rich people say, isn't it beautiful? And no more people think, who cleaned this, who cooked this, who get paid enough to smile here? How many people had to disappear for this to look effortless? This is Granny Liu's power. She makes luxury visible as a system, not just pretty objects, but money, labor, distance, taste, training, and exclusion. Luxury is not only having more, luxury is forgetting what things cost to other people. The crab feast. One line destroyed the fantasy. Before Granny Liu even properly entered the garden, she hears about the crab feast. For the young people, it's elegant. Autumn, crab, wine, poetry. A perfect aristoc- aristocratic afternoon. Then Granny Liu starts doing math. She calculates the price of crab and wine and food. She says, "The one meal costs more than 20 tills of silver. This is enough for a farming family to live on for a year." That's all. That's a whole episode. They eat crabs. She saw a year of survival on the table. One sentence, the thing changed genre. Was a feast. Now it is class exposure. It was elegance. Now it is an economy document. It was poetry. Now it has a price tag. That's why she's dangerous. She doesn't need a manifesto. She just counts, and counting is one of the fattest ways to destroy rich people's romance about themselves. They laugh because she doesn't know their rules. When Granny Liu entered the garden, she became entertainment. Wang Xifeng and Yuan Yang arrange jokes. Granny Liu eats, speaks, reacts, and exaggerates. The refined young lady laugh. The elder laugh, the servants laugh, the whole garden becomes a theater. On the surface, it's simple. Rich people laughing at the poor rural woman, but the scene's more complicated. Because Granny Liu knows. She knows she's being used as comedy. She knows the room wants a performance. And she gives them one. Not because she had no dignity. Because dignity by itself doesn't fit a family. That's what makes her so modern. Anyone who has worked service job knows this. Immigrants know this. Poor relatives know this. People who have had to smile in room where others had power know this. Sometimes you feel a little laughter. Sometimes you make yourself easier for the powerful to enjoy. Sometimes you let people underestimate you because their comfort is the price of your survival. This is not pure humiliation, it's strategy under inequality. She's poor in a room where has become entertainment. But she's not stupid, she's working. So she, as a mature elderly figure, and so she entered into the idealized, refined world of garden and brains with her folk speech. Bodily humor, eating, drinking, excretion, earthiness, and a clown like public energy. In other words, she creates a temporary festival space that collides with the garden elevated, poetic world. That's exactly why she works so well for a Western audience. Because this is not a low class woman feel at high culture. This is carnival. The high is brought low. The elegance is made bodily. The spiritual is forced to remember the stomach. The poetic world suddenly has teeth, jokes, smells, hunger, and bathroom humor. The garden wants to flow upward. Moonlight poetry figurines use sorrow. Granny Liu pull its ba- pulls it back down. Rice, crabs, money, moth, digestion, survival. And the novel needs both. Because a word made only a poetry becomes unreal. A word only made of hunger become unbearable. Granny Liu doesn't destroy beauty, she makes beauty touch the ground. Granny Liu is vigor. Vigor only if you think survival is vulgar. But the novel knows better. The poets know how to describe flower. Granny Liu knows how to keep people alive. This is not a lesser intelligence, it's an older one. A beautiful life needs people whose hands are not always visible. The most important asked question, what are they really laughing at? When rich people laugh at Granny Liu, what exactly are they laughing at? Her accent, manners, appetite, her body, her lack of training, her inability to pretend extreme luxury is no more. The last one matter because upper class depends on making luxury looks natural. The expensive table must look effortless. The servants must look invisible. The food must arrive as if food arrives by magic. The garden must look like nature, even though nature has been redesigned by money. Granny Liu ruins the illusion. She reacts too much, notices too much, counts too much, makes the rich seem themselves from the outside. That's why she's funny and dangerous. They laugh because she doesn't know their rules, but she survives because she knows all the rules. Food, weather, debate, gratitude, timing, and return. She's not envious. That's her greatness. A lesser version of this character would simply resent the rich. Granny Liu doesn't. She's not naive. She knows they're absolutely rich. Absolutely and absurdly rich. She knows the distance between them is enormous. But she doesn't spend her energy hating their abundance. She studies the room, she adapts, jokes, and receives help, and later returns with produce from the countryside. She knows how to be grateful without becoming spiritually small. So this is why he's a mature elder. She's not trapped in envy or bitterness. She shows a rough, realistic, resilient business that can enter a world of wealth without being spiritually destroyed by it. This is rare. Poverty can make people ashamed. Wealth can make people cruel. Granny Liu refuses both. She doesn't pretend to be equal. She doesn't pretend not to need help, but she also doesn't hand them her soul. That's dignity, not the glamorous kind, the surviving kind. So Renqing is not charity. This is Chinese concept that Western viewer need. Granny Liu relationship with the Jia family not simply charity. Charity is vertical. Someone above gives, someone below receives. Everyone goes home feeling morally arranged. But Renqing is different. Renqing is relationship, favor, feeling, memory, obligation, debate, and return. It's not pure kindness. It's not pure transaction. It's a human web where help becomes remembered. Granny Liu receives help, but she also returns. She brings fresh produce. She offers laughter, story, and presence. She becomes part of a relationship that will matter later. So the story doesn't say rich people should help poor people because it is nice. The story say human relationship outlast social rank more often than powerful people expect. Charity looks down. Renqing remembers. The greatest reversal. The joke may save the bloodline. Here's the deepest irony. When the Jia family is rich, Granny Liu is entertainment. A funny old woman, a rural outsider, a harmless body in a beautiful room. But when the great house collapses, the people with pawns, title, rituals, and status can't necessarily save their own children. In the received letter narrative and in the fate lines around Chaojie, Granny Liu becomes connected with saving Chaojie, the child of Wang Xifeng, from disaster after Jia family falls. And also the life-giving meaning of Granny Liu's relations to Chaojie, including naming and rescue as part of Granny Liu's earthy generative force. This is a moral reversal. The poor woman they laughed at may become the person who kept the family bloodline alive. This is not sentimental, it's brutal. Because it tells the truth. Never confuse wealth with moral superiority. Superior. I don't know how to spell it. It means better, moral superiority. Never confuse refinement with usefulness. Never laugh too loudly at the person who may one day save your child. The garden produced poems. Granny Liu produced survival. When this episode doesn't it did not repeat the others. Dai teaches us how loss become vision. Bao Chai teaches us how perfection become a cage. Tan Chun teaches us how intelligence become trapped inside gender. Xiang Yun teaches us the dignity of giving. Bao Yu teaches us the failure of male success. And Granny Liu does something none of them can do. She walks in from outside the dream. She's not trying to keep the garden. She's not trying to write poetry inside it. She's not trying to govern it. She's not trying to be approved by it. She enters, laughs, eats, counts, performs, survives, and leaves that make her the series great interruption. She reminds us the garden is not the world. It's an expensive bubble inside the world. And outside the bubble, people are still farming, calculating, carrying vegetables, worrying about hunger, and finding ways to live. Without Granny Liu, the garden can look like paradise. Paradise. With Granny Liu, paradise has a receipt. So when we laugh at someone who doesn't know our codes, what are we really protecting? Maybe we're protecting our sense or taste in is natural. Our education is normal, our manners are universal, our English is standard, our clothes are appropriate, our food is refined. Our money is invisible, but it's not invisible to everyone. There's always a Granny Liu in the house. Someone who knows the price, someone who knows how much labor is hiding inside beauty, someone who knows what one dinner could mean to a family, someone who may laugh aloud, maybe because laughing is safer than telling the truth directly. Sometimes a person sees more clearly than everyone at the table. Sometimes, that person is like Granny Liu. Granny Liu walks into Great Grand View Garden and everyone thinks she's a joke, but the joke is bigger than they may know. Because she reveals the absurdity of paradise, she shows that beauty has a cost, the refinement has a stomach, the poetry needs farmer. The luxury is easiest to enjoy when you have forgotten how much survival cost. She is not elegant, she's not literary, she's not young, she's not beautiful in the garden's language. She's alive, she's earthy, funny, shameless in the way only survival can be. She still laughter without selling her soul. She received help without forgetting it. She stands outside the aristocratic dream and still knows how to act when the dream collapses. The garden made beauty visible. Granny Liu made its price visible. And when beauty falls apart, the person who knows the price of food may be more useful than the person who knows the name of every flower. They laughed at her. She saw what paradise cost. So why she's a guest is um they used to Granny Liu, her family used to have a very weak and subtle relationship with the Jia family. So based on the past old relationship, they haven't been um, interact for years. And but now Granny Liu met some difficulties. So that's when she made a visit to the Jia family to ask for help, and the family helped her. They treat her to feast, the crab feast. They treat her with good food and lot of preparation, performance for her, and so in the future, the Granny Liu take the produce from the countryside as return um, for Jia family, and in the future the Granny Liu actually saved the daughter of Wang Xifeng, saved the bloodline of the family. So I mean, just to be clear, yeah, that's the story. Let me know if you have any question and anything you would like to talk about. There's a lot of, I mean, Chinese culture contained um in my videos, and I hope you can learn more about Chinese culture. Thank you. See you next time.